Sheffield City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
That was pretty good. I didn't see a word you missed, so it was very good indeed. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're
good morning.
Yeah. So, Kunyan, our club secretary, and I have the unfortunate job of being club treasurer. So, any monies donated, I'm very, very happy to receive. But today, we'd like to give you a little insight into our water projects that we're doing and the equipment we're using and the reasons for it, and also our Christmas bags that we give out to children in places where they really have nothing, and so that will come later. So, can we, oh, it's already there. Well done, sir. So, first presentation is our name and the fact that we do water for life 24/7. The aim was to give children water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have done many, many, many projects at schools, putting filters in schools, big filters, massive systems. But then they go home and they're drinking dirty water, so they're only getting clean water half the time. So this gives them clean water 24/7. So our aim is to help provide clean drinking water 24 hours a day at a low cost. And this is also to provide a very small carbon footprint, because as we explain later, water for 24/7, we can provide clean, safe drinking water using a gravity water filter with one of the world's best 0.1 micron systems. It's old-fashioned technology, it's a ceramic filter, but it's 2 layers, and it gets down to 0.1 micron. 0.1 micron is 1 micron below the smallest bacteria. So no bacteria, well, they say 99.999% doesn't get through. So you can have nice, clean. But inside we have carbon granulated, well, it's not granulated, it's actually nanocarbon, which is then transferred back into granules because as nanocarbon, it's too fine and powdery and it goes all over the place. So they do a similar principle as they do with coffee granules. They take the coffee powder and then they make it into granules again. So, and this extends the life of the carbon because carbon only works on the outside. So it doesn't work on the inside. So the larger the surface area, the more and longer it will work.
Yes, the carbon is mostly to take out the bad taste and smell, but actually it's a nanometals cluster. There's also, but the formula is being kept very secret, but for instance there's also nano silver in there. And some of you may know that silver, actually colloidal silver, prevents the further buildup of bacteria. So in case there is some bacteria inside the filter or whatever, or something did manage to slip through, that will prevent the further buildup of bacteria colonies.
So it will filter 20,000 litres of water. Now, you know, that's a lot of water. With a family consumption of 15 to 20 litres a day, it is possible to provide them with clean drinking water for up to 5 years. A little bit of exaggeration there, in actual fact. It's about 10 to 15 litres if you did it every single day. But it's still going to give them an adequate, for 4 to 5 people, adequate supply of clean drinking water. And it can use tap, river, well, pond, or rainwater, but not sea or salt water. They can't do that. You have to distill it, which uses a lot more energy. You can save money with it. The equivalent cost of purchasing 40,500 milliliter bottles, 10 baht each, 400,000 baht. You might even buy a car instead, you know, pollute the atmosphere more. Go green. No need to use electricity or make fires to boil the water, which is what is happening up country. Every morning they get up, kindle a fire, boil a little bit of water to make some tea or cook something. So the system uses the Earth's natural gravity as its power function. And by using this filter, you can also help save the planet from 40,000 plastic bottles, plus save the carbon footprint on the physical transportation of water. Water's heavy, and just shipping water around about the country in bottles to sell to people is kind of crazy when the water is there. Here, it was just a little survey I looked up, and they said it takes 42 million gallons of oil per year to produce the plastic bottles for the USA alone. And then we throw them away, you know, which is the sad thing. And it's sometimes where we throw them away is the problem. Recycled, it's a little bit better, but when they just get thrown in and get washed up in the sea, and these things do not biodegrade, unfortunately. Be healthy by having clean drinking water available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free of bacteria, chlorine, heavy metals, all these things are all taken out. It will help protect you and your family from waterborne gastrointestinal infections. It's a simple system and it's a lifesaver. Now, here are some pictures of families who have had the system for some 5 years. These are the sort of homes that they're going into in and around Thailand. Not everybody lives in Pattaya. You know, there's some wonderful people. They're just absolutely so happy to have their water filter, and they do look after it. So this is how we give them out, usually through schools. Schools are handy because half the time we're providing a water filter system for the school, and then we then hand out systems for each family, and it's made much easier by doing it through the schools because they contact all the people. They also know the people who really, really need them. And as we say up on the top there, thanks to Rotary and our generous sponsors, we've been able to give 14,000 of these filter systems to schools and families throughout Thailand. That is a picture of our older system, and as it says, but it's looking now a bit old, so we've ironed out a few of the wrinkles. We had to design a new one. This was really hard work. It was a lot of construction because it had a lid in between and washers and all sorts of funny bits. But it did work, and it worked very well. But I haven't got a fanfare, but ta-da! Introducing our new system. This one, so it's much more simple. The ladies are going to bring one around to let you see. So the new system, it's tougher, it's more stable, it's easier to construct and maintain, and a bit better looking. Well, the container, you know. So this is it. It's nice and simple to use. Two sections, no lids in between. And what we did here was this one has been used for 1 month in Pattaya City Water. Now, the Pattaya City Water Company do a great job, and they keep the pH level okay and bacteria and things, and they do work very, very well at it. But they can't stop burst water pipes underground bubbling away and contamination going in sometimes into your systems. So if you later on would like to look at it, this was white. This filter here was white. You'll see on the new ones. But it's actually a dark brown now, it's a dirty brown. And it gets progressively darker as it goes down because as more contaminants get stocked on the way down. So what happens here is we fill up the top, the water goes into the filter through the ceramic membrane. It's about quarter of an inch thick, and then in through the carbon and nanoclusters in the centre, and it drips through the bottom into there. Now, it's relatively slow. The first thing again is, oh, how many litres an hour do you produce? Not many. It takes overnight. You fill it up at the top, come down in the morning, it's full up. You want to put it in bottles or drink it, you can fill it up again, go out, do your day's work, come back, and there's more water there. So you can keep cycling water. So this is about 12.5 litres. And Jan is going to drink the water out the bottom. Perfectly good, tastes good, and we've had it tested. This system has the Singapore TUV certificate. It's really good.
I believe the nurses are still around in case they're poisoned. No, honestly, I mean, we've been using this system already since its inception at home, which now is about 8 years. And perfect health, never had any problems. Okay, sometimes you eat something wrong with food, but we've never had any problem that you can relate to bad drinking water. So, cheers, here's to clean water.
Cheers, cheers. Yes, just a little thing on that. We did have a village, and it was actually also called the Bamboo School, but this one was near the Myanmar border. And the people came to receive a water filter from us, and they were very sceptical, I can assure you. Jan had a picture of Jan drinking there, and they were looking at them, until a little boy came up and he put his head underneath and he was drinking from the tap, and that made them much happier. But we got a report from the clinic that was attached to the school about 2 months later, and they said, and this is genuine, the doctor said they'd had a 95% drop. I need some water myself. A 95% drop in intestinal problems, gastro problems. And he said it was incredible. I mean, this was something that they were always getting every day, somebody coming. They could feed them a whole load of pills and they'd go away. They were okay, but this was a 95% drop. There was another village up north where they wrote to us to say that a family for 5 years had been unwell. The whole family had been unwell. But after a month of drinking the water, suddenly they started to feel better. And we were not claiming that it was them, but the people who wrote were very convinced that, in actual fact, they'd probably been drinking dirty water for the years and not known it, but now they had the clean water. So it really does work. Next.
I have a similar system.
Yeah.
The water tastes great. I'm drinking 3 times as much water as I used to drink.
Precisely, you do, because it's good.
It tastes really
It does taste good, yeah, exactly. It tastes good, and therefore, because it tastes okay, it's fine. Oh, thank you. Very kind. I can drink that one. Right. That tastes okay as well. This is one of the ways that we manage to raise some money is through Rotary International and global grants. We do need money first of all, so we rely on good sponsors, people like Adwita with the Panicker Club in Holland, and people all over the place in America and Europe. And they donate money. We then organise with America, who double that money through Rotary. And so, because of that, we maximise the amount of money that we receive. And we can then organise this sort of thing. So this was in Callison, up north in Thailand, and this was ready to be handed out to the children from different schools in different parts of Callison. Here they are, getting ready to hand them over. That was the, I think, is that the Callison Club? Yes. Oh, that's Nampong, sorry. Forget the uniforms.
May I just interrupt for a second? I've put out these brochures. Unfortunately, we don't have enough for everybody, so we put them around the tables. Please pass them around. If anybody is genuinely interested, we still have a few more copies here.
So, as you see, the filter looks different, but for transportation, the top turns around and slides into the bottom part. So it goes into a carrier bag and it's nice and easy transported. And so the kids are taking them home, happy. And also on the ones we hand out, we do put a label on it giving instructions how to look after it in whatever language is necessary. Because quite a few go to Burma, so we have to use Karen or some of the languages that are there. But this one was in Thai. And this was at a hospital in Nakhon Ratchasima, Iraq. There's a kidney dialysis unit, and the dialysis patients were told that their main problem was because of the water they were drinking, and that they really needed to be trying to drink clean water, bottled water, but it's so expensive, and you know, if your salary is not that great, just drinking a lot of bottled water can go through some money. So we gave them, was it 60? Yeah, 60 containers, which they gave to their dialysis patients, and very, very happy people indeed. This is Kun Siri, one of our past district governors, and the guy with the hat in the middle up there, oh no, the one in the middle is me, but the one to the right or left of him is our current district governor. But this is us handing over the filters to the families.
The good thing at the hospital was that there were a lot of doctors there and nurses, and when we explained to them how the system works, I mean, basically when we're in the village, we keep it very simple, but there we could go into all the details about the nanometals cluster, the nanocarbon, 0.1 micron, and they fully understood what it was and realized the potential of these filters.
Yeah, it was actually quite good to see faces that sort of lightened up. and like yourself, if you know what it's about, it makes a difference. Anyhow, they were so pleased, some of these children. The schools started to send us pictures, so I only just picked out a few, but we got lots and lots and lots of pictures from them. They were wonderful, lovely drawings, and they at home and in the school. So it was just quite nice to see clean drinking water at school and at home. So we're slowly but surely getting there. And so thank you for watching. This is a breakdown now of the system, very simple to construct and to maintain and look after. It just needs a little wash every now and again.
Okay, I'd just like to add, I mean, as Carl mentioned earlier, we've done 14,000 of those, which would be 14 billion, 15 billion baht, actually more than that. Of course, this money didn't come from ourselves, but it has come from other Rotary clubs, international Rotary clubs. And in Rotary, we have a system which is called a global grant. And if you qualify and if it's approved, the Rotary Foundation will add 50 to up to 100% to that. So therefore, I mean, currently the project that we're doing right now is $100,000, 3 million baht. If it doesn't have to be with Rotary alone, if you have contacts or with an NGO or an organization that would be interested, please contact us, and then we can look if we can put it through the Rotary system, add a global grant to it, and then able to be doing a few thousand more over the next years. Thank you.
Getting down, we're not in a sell situation, but should anybody wish these, we can do them for 1,500 baht. On the grant situation, and when we're actually doing projects, we can get them down a bit further than that. We do squeeze it, but 1,500 baht, it covers all the costs. And if you wanted them decorated in a different way, different logo put on them as a gift, if you're a business and you want to give friends or good customers one, 1,500 baht, it's a very good gift, and they're happy because they know you're caring for their well-being. But anyhow, that's the hard sell done. Can we move on to the next? This next one is simple Christmas bags. It was a thing where we started very, very small, and it was just to try and give a Christmas bag to some children in really dire schools that had, mud floors, nothing. I mean, they had nothing. And it was also to keep all our members busy. It was something that they could all do, all get involved in, and that was the Christmas bags. Now, a Rotary Club Christmas bag project aims very simple: to raise funds, to give some Christmas cheer to children who have literally so very little. So this is what we do. Here is one of our bags, and the girls will hand them around so you can actually see one personally. So the Christmas bags, you could hand them about now so that they can actually look at them. But you'll see what we do with them. We go to fetes, fairs, events, things like the PILC. You've probably seen us there. And we ask parents who quite often want to have the kids do something while they can go around shopping, if they would care to spend 100 baht and let the kid or the children, mostly the adults, like doing it as well, so they enjoy drawing on the bag. So, or just sign the bag. So on the bag they draw on it or sign on it, and then they donate 100 baht. So with that 100 baht, these are some of the places we go. We used to go to Jesters, which was excellent, but unfortunately they're not doing it now. And this is the children drawing away. And then we take these bags and then we finish up going to places like Macro, Tesco's and things like this. But during the year we're buying bits of toys and all sorts of things. And then we fill the bags up. And we include, because we had an old lady who... Sorry? Somebody's lost me.
Oh, with Mike. Oh, okay.
Yeah? Oh, never mind, it's not me. We had a situation where we had an old lady who came up and she said, "Oh, I'm not donating to this because you're giving sweets." And we did say to her that, look, I think they only get sweets one time a year, so they got sweets and crisps and sweet drinks, yes, but we do put all sorts of other good things in. And we also include, you can see there, toothpaste and toothbrush now, so that they can clean their teeth as well. Then, once the bags are all packed, we pop them in a car. Here we are, getting ready to go to different schools, all looking very festive. And some of the places are a bit tricky to get to. This one was actually not too bad. There's one or two that were up hills. Others, we literally had to park the cars and walk into the jungle because there was actually no roads to the village or the school. And then we hand them out. This is a good bit. That's the bit we really, really do enjoy. It's so gratifying to give these kids something, and they are so happy to get them. Now, this is why we've now printed the bags, as you will see, because we had all these bags, and it doesn't matter how many times you say Rotary, the kids think we're from the lottery. And you can understand. So we tried hard, but so we decided maybe we don't really want to disappoint them, but we've got Rotary on it this time. But on the other side, they love it. They love to see where the bags have been painted or drawn on. And these are actually drawings and people have put on the bags. But you can see they're just wonderful. And it's sometimes a simple thing like a pencil is amazing to them. They're so happy to receive. So here they are, all looking at their toys. This is in Laos. In a very, very poor school in Laos, which courtesy of Anne Rita. They built a new one. So we have a brand new school, which I haven't shown, that's a different project. But it's fantastic and the kids just love it. This was the toilets that we built earlier on, but it was a bit, there was a little bit in the shade because it was hot. So there they all are with their Christmas bags, happy. And up here, a little school up near the Myanmar border, up above Maysot. And we gave them fleeces as well, because sometimes at this time of year it gets pretty cold up there, so we handed them fleeces. And there was a little boy there, and he was actually getting redder and redder and redder, and he was getting so hot, but he wouldn't take it off. He was happy to have his fleece. But they were there, and ironically the following year, most of them still had them and they were working fine, so it just shows they do look after things. And so Brian Songhurst, our president, was well amored. It really was. He was taken aback by just how wonderful these children are. And our two ladies, Jan, his wife, on the left and mine in the middle there, who do most of the work. So here we have it. For 100 baht, draw or sign your name on a bag. Help us give these children a Christmas bag, treat for fun. It costs a bit more than 100 baht. We actually do add to it, because when it started it was 100 baht, but inflation over the last 8 years has taken place, and now 100 baht doesn't go as far as we all know. So, but we do add to it. But we'll be happy for you to sign if you want to draw on the bags. The girls have got crayons, they've got chalks and things like that. Happy for you just to draw or sign your name. And if you want to donate 100 baht or more, if you wish, we'd be absolutely delighted. If not, it doesn't matter. We're still quite happy for you members of PCEC to have it on you drawing on the bags and for us to hand them out. Okay, end of our presentation. I'll leave that up there just in time, I think.
Are there any questions? If you have,
Sure.
Please wait for a microphone to come. Because we've got a full house, just ask one question at a time, please. One question. If there's time remaining, you have another question, okay, but at this stage, one question each.
If someone wanted to buy these and pay you, could you ship them to people? And, you know, the extra for the shipping.
Possible. I mean, yes, we could. Yes, we could do that. We could work that out. Yeah, I definitely.
It would be a bit cumbersome for just one filter, but if you would have like 10 or 20, then I think we
can definitely. We could definitely organise that. Yes, sir.
Over here, please. We'll run the mic. Don't worry. We'll take care of the mics.
I just have taste the water.
All right.
It's made by the filter there, and the taste is similar to the mineral water I bought in a shop, and I feel very fine. But the water I get here at the club is tasting chlorine.
Sure. Yes.
So that means I feel this is a quality water. What
It
you
is
produce.
indeed. It is. We're very impressed with it ourselves, and it is superb. Thank you, sir.
A couple of years ago, we had an international Rotary convention in Bangkok, which was at Impact, Montani. We had a display there, which was still with our older filters, and they were handing out water, free water from one of their sponsors, which was Singha Water. And we actually had a blind test at our booth, where people had to determine which one was actually the Singha water and which one was the water from our drip filter. And they couldn't get it. And many of them actually said, just like the gentleman there said, that our water actually tasted better than the water from the bottle.
You mentioned the cost of the unit itself.
Yeah.
What does the replacement filter cost?
Around about 500 baht. Sorry? Once every 5 years.
Well done. Well done.
or maybe more often.
Ren has actually demonstrated another
I was paid to do this.
another thing about our new filters. The plastic is different, and with our previous filters, if they would fall, the ceramic element, which is very sensitive, would break. Now it fell, but it didn't break.
No. Whereas, yes, previously you saw there was a lid and it was the bottom and the filter went through between, so it was held very solid. And if it fell over, the spout broke off. Now, just because there's one, the filter wobbles a bit. But as you saw there, it falls, but it doesn't break. But no, sorry, back to your question, sir. Using it every day, just keeping it, just washing it every now and again, keeping it clean, it should last a minimum of 5 years. It may go on longer. These pictures you saw at the beginning, the people had had it for over 5 years, and you know, they were just using river water. And if you're using pond or sometimes river water, sometimes you get an oil film on the top from vegetation plants that grow in the water, leave this oily film on the top. As long as you take the bottle, go below the surface and collect your water there, then bring it up, put it in, it's fine. And it'll give you clean drinking water for 5 years. And that's why I say 400,000 baht is your saving on buying mineral water.
Any more questions?
Anybody wants one, they can let us know. On the leaflet, I put an email, so I'm happier if you just want to email me, and I'll email back and organise whatever it is. I do know most of our members have them delighted, and the gentleman there is using one, and it's just great water. Okay, thank you.
You can always, because quite a few of our members are also here members of the Expats Club, you can always also contact one of our Rotary members. Thank you very much.
Well, a huge round of applause, not just for the talk, but for the great work that Rotary is doing. Come on, Janet. You must meet those Christmas bags. Can I buy one for 200? All right, yeah, come in closer and put your hands on the rail here.
Thank you very much, Vernon.
Thanks again. And now, they always say never perform before children.